I'm Luke, starting point guard for Voltron, number 9. Check us out.
Alright, Luke, your team, the Decepticons, finished unfortunately second place to John Terry in CBA final. How was that for you?
Not good. John Terry, we didn't feel as though we were a strong team, and we thought we would have had a win, but not necessarily a big win, but a comfortable win. But we just kind of, I think, underestimated their skills as their guards. We didn't think their guards were too strong, but when they come down to the crunch, they knew what they were doing, and you know, did what they had to do to get the win.
A lot of talk has been made that the last CBA season was one of the best ones to date. What are your thoughts on the competition level from last season?
It's getting up there. Like, I'd have to be one of the strongest comps at the moment in Australia. It's in the semi-professional basis of it, it's really tough. There's teams that are really strong. There's teams that are under average at the moment. But I mean, with a couple of extra players, maybe a couple players from other states and other leagues, it could really start to benefit the league and really pick it up. But it has definitely been one of the strongest seasons that I've played in.
What are your feelings towards the 2006-2007 CBA season?
Good season, a lot of new teams. Instead of, we've picked up a couple strong teams with a few key signings and that, a couple of boys that have come back, and looks to be, if not more impressive, and more talent. So I think it's going to be a better season than last year's, and it looks like we're only going to get better as the years come on.
And recently you changed your team to Voltrons. How far do you think you guys will go this season?
Well, we've actually changed our team from the Decepticons to Voltron itself.
I apologise.
I think to be honest, we're feeling pretty confident. We've got a big signing this year. We've got a new signing of a 6'9" kind of powerful player. He's about 250 pounds in about kilo-wise, maybe 110, 115 kilos. So that's going to be a big signing. And to be honest, we were missing a big man last year. So with that signing, I think we're definitely going to be playoff berth and looking at the team to beat this year.
Well, speaking of big men, there was talks last season that Fuda was very close to leaving your team. Can you address any of these rumours?
No.
Is he looking for another team?
No rumours as such. I mean, he's like in a way, we're co-captains, and I doubt there'd be anything to pull us apart. I mean, he works hard, I work hard, and it comes to some arguments sometimes because we both want to be leaders, but it's never going to be a problem. He'll be a Voltron, Decepticon, whatever my team name is, he'll be with us through and through.
It's good to hear. A lot of talk, a lot of people, although John Terry still won, a lot of people still feel that they're overrated. Which teams do you think, which two teams do you think are the overrated teams in the CBA?
I'll never say John Terry's overrated because they're so big. They've got a lot of depth in their height, and they've got a lot of veterans on the team, so I've never said they're overrated. I mean, at some stage, they're not the best looking team on the court, but I think overrated teams, in a sense, you'd have to say jinxed. I mean, to be honest, I don't think much of that team. They definitely overrated. I can't see them making the playoffs this year at all. They're going to struggle. They're having problems with their teams at the moment, a lot of arguments, in-house kind of arguments, so I don't see them. That'd probably be the most overrated team. With the other top teams, I think I'll put Inca as overrated. They've got a couple of strong players, but they've got a lot of gaps in their defensive transition, so yeah, I'll put it down to Inca and Jinx.
Who are some of the more impressive young talent who can carry the torch, so to speak, for the CBA in future seasons?
In the CBA, there's if I go through the teams, I guess we've got Inca. You'd have to say Matt McCoy. I mean, he's still young. He's not so veteran. I mean, he's played at a top level, but you still have to say he's a young guy. He definitely carries that team. In other teams, old school. They're still young at the moment. I mean, they've got a guard at the moment, Walid Habao. He's a player to look out for. I mean, if you leave him open, he's going to put the shot on you every time, and I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 he'll make that shot. One else on their team, Mark O'Brien, he does some big things for that team. He's young talent coming up, but we've got this new team in called Seatown's Finest, or some kind of name like that, and they got a couple of real young guys coming through, a couple of state players that play juniors, and like Tom Meredith, Gil DeMosa, I think his name is. He's a guard. They're really going to contest some teams, and if they make the division, they're going to maybe look at the playoff berth. I think they might be a bit too young at the moment, but definitely a team to look forward to. So.
And the anticipation for this season is obviously at its highest than it's ever been. Are Voltron the team to beat this year?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, we're the team to beat last year, team to beat basically every season we've been in the CBA. So I think it's going to be one of the toughest. Like I said, we've just re-signed a big 6'8" man. So I mean, we were lacking our height and lacking our strength inside, and with him, we're definitely the team to beat. I mean, with us, I say the top 4 this year is going to be definitely us, Voltron, Inca possibly, Old School, a new team called Finishing Touch. They're going to be quite the touch, and I guess I'll put that at my top 4 with John Terry, JT looking at squeezing in that last position.
And finally, who are you calling for MVP?
Who am I calling for MVP of the league? MVP of the league. That new team Finishing's Touch, they got a point guard, Newton Square, who does a lot. He'll be up there as well as his teammate Shane Lewis, definitely a highlight film. People have kind of compared him to Vince Carter, so that will be definite player to look out for. But all in all, I think there'll be 2 players to look at the MVP. Otherwise, maybe Matt Fuda from our team Voltron, he's up there for the numbers as well. So could be anyone's guess, but a lot of teams are talented this year. Could be anyone. Could be, you know, 6th player come off the bench who's going to do MVP for big things.
Alright, thank you, Luke, for your time, and all the best for the CBA season.
Thanks, fellas.